Disney's interactive online game Club Penguin has over 2.4 million users according to recent polls, and it is time we pay attention to this rising trend in children's usage of internet games. The user is immersed in a virtual snowy world and through a penguin avatar can participate in activities while interacting with other fellow penguin avatars. The activities that these penguins can perform can range from chatting, sending greeting cards, using emotional icons, attending special parties and social events, taking a role in stage plays, adopting and caring for pets called puffles, and playing arcade-style games to earn virtual coins. They can then use these coins to purchase various items, which allow for every penguin to customize their avatars by selecting from a range of skin colors, wigs, clothes, and even igloo furniture. Because the game does not have a storyline, there are no objectives to complete. To address the monotony that the game would eventually garner from its users, Club Penguin is constantly renovated with new adventures and themes. For example, this week's theme was a medieval setting, in which a penguin could do various knight or princess adventures and defeat the fire-breathing dragon. Although Club Penguin is open to all ages, the primary age group that it targets is children from 6 to 14. Also, I think it's important to mention that most of the advantages of playing Club Penguin, such as shopping and completing these fun adventures, come at a price, literally. A membership that can be monthly or yearly depending on the choice of the parent or guardian who can monitor the child's activity. I think the main question that needs to be answered about the usage of Club Penguin is if the game's design is beneficial or harmful in regards to a child's construction of identity and his or her perception of the world. The design and language of the game definitely can spark some interesting analysis among observant critics, and I hope to point out some of the pressing issues that this game raises. Before that, there are many positive aspects of this game. Club Penguin does a really good job in showing the individual how he or she is connected to the larger penguin community, and therefore each user feels like they belong to this community. For example, each penguin has the ability to converse with other penguins in the same area and cooperate on various tasks, such as plays and adventures with these penguins. Oftentimes, users will even invite people to their igloos and host social gatherings. This action revolutionizes the idea of the public space that was put forth by Poster by now applying it to children. There are ways a user can become involved in a community, such as contributing to a newspaper, becoming a tour guide to help new users, and become a secret agent to report suspicious activity. This reminded me of Foucault's idea of the panopticon, and how people tend to moderate their own behavior when there's a fear of someone constantly watching them. Bad behavior like cursing or harmful language is punished by a 24-hour ban. Furthermore, the game has underlying green message of recycling with the ubiquitous imagery of the recycle symbol, and also has humanitarian cause by allowing the avatars to donate their coins to a campaign called Coins for Change, which sends money to various real non-profit organizations that help in environmental conservation and third world disaster relief initiatives. While Club Penguin does push a communal message onto its users, there is also plenty of space of individualism in how users dress their penguins and decorate their igloos. In addition, the users can submit artwork to the game's newspaper. So in these facets of constructing a perception of oneself and their place in the world, Club Penguin does a good job in establishing this. In addition, with qualities such as creative expression, fundraising, interaction, and virtual mobilization, according to Stein, there is definitely potential for a social movement. However, there are also some important issues that still need to be addressed in the game's design. Although Club Penguin does not seem to depict various races in such a crude and exaggerated manner when compared to humanized games such as Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas, or NBA Street, one just has to take a closer look to see that the game might not be racist per se, but there's definitely a subtle racial tone. This can be seen in the complete absence of ethnicity depicted in avatar accessories and the most popular game in Club Penguin, Card Jitsu, which plays into the stereotypical Oriental martial artist. Just as Toni Morrison's Playing in the Dark shows that with the absence of blackness in American literature proves its significant presence in history, So too can this be true with Club Penguin's construction of the avatar. It is not the color of the penguin that is questionable, but the clothes and the hair that a penguin can choose to identify themselves. For example, I did not see one style of hair that could depict a child of African descent. The hair shown was usually straight and European-like, so how would a black child try to find a valid representation of themselves through these avatars? While on the other hand, there are some penguins who I've encountered who wear hoodies, caps, big jewelry, and untied sneakers who are probably going for the urban look, or a penguin who wears bandanas and a ninja suit who is going for the Oriental Asian warrior look. While most of the avatars wear typical Western costumes, some represent what Adam Clayton Powell III likes to say, the idea of high-tech blackface. In addition to the racialized avatar dress, the most popular game in the Club Penguin is definitely Card Jitsu, a simple card game with the idea of rock, paper, scissors, or shoot. The location of the game is off on the periphery of the island in the mountaintops, where you enter a dojo with an elaborate Oriental-style architecture and sculpture and music. You then approach the sensei, who wears a low-brimmed hat that covers half his face, and he gives you advice on how to become a master. You beat enough people to get a black belt, and then you become a ninja and enter another secret level. This popularity supports both Everett's and Leonard's argument of the racial project and feeds into the white supremacist fascination with the exotic other, as children have the ability to pose as ninjas. Although most would see this racial project as minor and insignificant in the development of child's perception of different people, Everett argues that video games are the perfect manner to disseminate conceptions of racial identity. And lastly, there is a huge push for overconsumption and capitalism behavior in the game, as it is constantly urging its users to upgrade their igloos, buy new furniture, buy new clothes, or upgrade their membership. For users who don't have a membership, though they still can use Club Penguin, the activities that he or she can do is extremely limited. While on the other hand, active members have an exorbitant access to games and items and are able to customize their igloos. This message of overconsumption seems to conflict with the environmental agenda that this game suggests. Also, the message with class distinction seems to be problematic as well. Because of my short time with the game, there are many questions still left unanswered that I would like to further examine, such as the question of relationships between Club Penguin users, how gender identity plays a role, do separate subgroups form, how would I operate as a secret agent, and etc. As the game keeps reinventing its interface and design, hopefully it will move toward becoming a more productive apparatus for helping children truthfully perceive the world and positively construct their identity.